Hey everyone, it's John and Vince here from Stock Mortgage, and we'd like to welcome you to the first episode of the Homeownership Hub. The Homeownership Hub is going to be a weekly segment that will highlight and introduce some local experts in the area to make sure you are a well-rounded homeowner.
Yeah, so we're going to highlight everyone from realtors to painters to title agents just to make sure that you are well educated in every aspect of homeownership. We understand this process can be confusing. We may forget a step in the process. We want to make sure we're getting you the best information from the top experts in the industry.
Yeah, so today for our very first episode, we have a special guest, Krystal Newman. She's an account executive from Vanguard Title Insurance. And what she's going to do is she's going to break down a little bit of the ins and outs of the title insurance policy and maybe some little tips and tricks that you may not have known, whether you're a first-time home buyer or you're buying your 10th home out there. All right, hey guys, it's John and Vince here from the Homeownership Hub, and we wanted to again spotlight a local expert that we have, and we've got Krystal here today. And Krystal's going to tell us a little about what she does and kind of the importance of her business in the whole scheme of being a homeowner. So, Krystal, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I'm so glad to be on here.
Yeah, of course, of course. You're our very first person on here, so you're kind of getting the ball rolling for us. So, whether we're good or bad, you're going to be the barometer now. So we really appreciate it. But I want to kind of get into it with just opening up a little bit about yourself. So, how long have you been in this business, and how did you get into this business?
Well, so I've been in the business for about 3 years. The main reason why I got into this is because I love helping people, which sounds very cliche, but when you come across different people in different areas of their life or different realtors and their specific needs that they're looking for, it really makes my heart warm when I'm able to help them and help them succeed in their business. So when I first started, my sister-in-law, she's been in the business for, God, 30 plus years. And she was the one that got me into it. And she was like, you know what? You love being around people. It'll be a really cool thing for you to start. And I said, okay. I'm like, I'll never put down a challenge. So I started from the bottom. I started learning out purchase agreements. I started looking at title commitments, exam packages. Like I was a sponge and I soaked everything in that I could. So I got into it and I just started building myself up and climbing the ladder to where I got to be an account executive. And I will never look back. I love what I do and I will continue to do what I have to do.
So quick question on that. So, you said you kind of like went up through the ranks. So,
Mhm.
what was kind of the worst part of going through the ranks? What was the one that you least liked?
I wouldn't say I least liked, but the hardest part was starting out at the bottom, not knowing anything. I
Yeah.
mean, I would get realtors calling me, for different files or asking questions about title. And I was just like a deer in headlights. I was like, oh my God, I don't know the answer to that one. But you know what I did is I just said, hey, I don't know the answer to that specific question, but I'll jot it down and I will find the answer for you and I will call you right back. And that was the part where I started to learn. And I was like, okay, I need to understand these certain things that people are asking. But at the same time, I was building trusting relationships with the current agents that we were working with or lenders that we were working with because I was letting them know, hey, I'll get back to you on that rather than just giving them some answer off the top of my head that I thought was maybe correct.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a learning curve when you get into a new industry. I know Vince and I, we've been doing this for like 10 years, but I know when I first got into it, I didn't know, I mean, I really didn't know anything. Like it was
No.
all trial by fire, and you kind of build up from there. And that's one of the great things that we like is, hey, if we do ask you a question, there's sometimes you say, you know what, I'll find it for you. I don't need somebody that knows everything off the top of their head. I just need somebody that knows how
How
to
to
get the
find
right
it.
answer and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely. Because you have to then relay that information to your client. And if your information is not correct, then you come back and you're like, oh, wait, hold on. It's actually this, or you wait down the road and then tell them the right answer. Then it's just like you kind of lose that trust or that, support or protection that they thought they were getting from you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. So how would you say, what do you think helps homeowners the most about what you do, like your profession?
So what we do is, It's funny because someone had told me this saying, and they said, title insurance is title insurance. Everyone has it, everyone sells it. But really, as a homeowner, title insurance is there to protect you. It's to protect the title of the home so that if down the road there was something that popped up, like a mortgage that wasn't paid off from a previous title company, or there was a lien that was never taken care of, or someone was trying to forge your name on a quitclaim deed and trying to record it with the county, your title policy would protect that. So it's protection for you so that you don't have to down the road say you didn't get it and now someone's trying to outright buy your home from underneath you, or there's a lien that pops up. You're going to be, I'd say, screwed, which doesn't sound like a good word to say, but it's like, that's what we're here for. We're here to protect you, to provide you free and clear insurance, knowing that you will be protected.
Yeah, I think that's huge because I think that's a big thing that people don't understand is they think they're buying the home and then that's it. They own the home. They don't realize the risk that they're at by not getting that insurance.
Yeah, there's a lot of risks to it. And I've come in contact with a lot of people that maybe something happened, or even mid-transaction, we're working with them and all of a sudden a prior owner's mortgage popped up. Not theirs, but the previous owner. And maybe that bank didn't discharge it correctly, or they didn't turn it into the county stating it's been discharged. And now because they had insurance, we are able to go back to that previous title company and get that solved to where they're able to buy their new home or sell their new home or sell their existing home.
So let me ask you, what happens in a situation like that? So let's go down both forks in the road. Fork one, I have title insurance. Fork two, I don't. What happens to the borrower if that situation were to occur with a previous mortgage coming up on title?
So if they had title insurance and they were selling that home and that prior owner's mortgage popped up, that previous title company that offered the policy, they would be the ones taking care of that. So they would go back, figure out who the lender was, then go back to the lender and say, hey, this wasn't discharged. It was paid off at closing. Here's the information for you. If you don't have title insurance, then you have to go through the court system. So then you have to go to court and get that all taken care of, hire a lawyer so that they can take care of the legal issues for you. So you're really paying out of pocket a lot more money than you would if you just bought title insurance, which is literally like a quarter of what you would be paying. And it's a one-time fee. It's not something you pay like your auto insurance where you're paying every single month. It's a one-time fee. You're done and you're protected until the end of the life of when you actually sell that home or give that home to a family member, anything like that.
Gotcha. So we're talking maybe a owner's policy or a title policy. I don't know, 1,000 to 2,000 on the high end if you have like a big loan size, versus thousands of dollars to retain an attorney to go to court on your behalf.
Yeah, I mean the cost for attorneys, $2,000, $3,000 for an attorney just so they can start getting things rolling for you. And then you got to go to court and pay court fees because now you have to open up that case. Where, like you said, a title policy on a lower end home may be like $1,000. Where if you're on a higher ender home, like in the millions, then it's a little bit higher. But if you think about it, I'd rather pay $1,000 than rather pay $5,000 to $10,000 to get something taken care of that's not even my responsibility anymore.
For sure. So super important to make sure that you guys have that stuff. And again, it's one of those things like, I think even, myself and Vince is like you said, sometimes people just think title is title because a lot of times it does go pretty clean and you really don't see that. But man, I've had times where, this came up on title and you're just like, oh, what do we do now? Right. And it is important who you work with, and it is important who you have on your, kind of on the back end to make sure that stuff's getting taken care of for you.
And there's times where I've had people contact me and they said, hey, I was working with a specific title company. They were running my title and these are the things that they found. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. And maybe they wanted a second opinion just to make sure that their house was free and clear. So we ran title for them and something else popped up. So, I mean, sometimes that can happen when you have one title company look at stuff and then you need another title company to look at other things, and maybe they find more things than what you're supposed to find.
So how would you say Vanguard, sets himself apart from every other title company? What do you guys do differently?
So what we do differently is we treat our clients like family. Our clients are like our moms and dads and brothers and sisters and grandmas and grandpas. We treat them like how we would want to treat our family. We make sure that we dive in deep. We pull our sleeves up and make sure that everything is taken care of. We find any liens, mortgages, anything that would affect title, and we make sure it gets cleared out. At the same time, we're answering these questions that homeowners come across, either buyers or sellers. We always say, hey, do you have any questions? Is there anything we can help you assist with? Or can we answer any questions that you're thinking may be a dumb question? And I always say dumb questions are not dumb questions. So those are things that we do while providing great service to our current clients. We build relationships with them, trusting relationships, so that they know we are on their side to make sure everything is free and clear, while in the end that they are the ones that are shining in front of their clients, which is then building a great referral network for them, for people to keep coming back every time.
I love that.
Yeah, what I can attest to, so I use Vanguard, they're basically my primary title company that I use, and we've sent you guys for sale by owners, right? And for
Yeah.
sale by owners is a little bit of a different beast, right? There's no agents involved, so the borrowers and the buyers and the sellers are putting the contract together, and it's basically the loan officer, the client, and the title company making sure everything happens. And you guys have handled those really, really great from start to finish, where you're dealing with both sides and all the questions from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made it a very seamless and easy process. That's why I trust you guys for transactions like that, because I know, hey, you guys are going to give me a contract that I can use, that I can walk the client through and make sure. And then you guys are going to make sure that everyone has clean title. So when the house is transferred, everyone's good, everyone's happy, and a nice, clean, and simple closing process. Because again, we can't get to the end without the closing process. So,
Absolutely.
so I guess one of the last few things, and again, we always appreciate your time, is when someone's out there, and I guess maybe if you're a buyer and you have the opportunity to shop for title or use a different company, what are some things that they should be looking for? Maybe some insider tips that you as an expert know that maybe us or the layman out there wouldn't know.
Yeah, so some really great tips this can go for sellers or buyers that are looking to work with a specific title company. Most thing I look at is their fees. See what their fees are, what they'll be charging, that. The second is you want to make sure like how their closing process is, or how the processing is going to be going from out. Are you going to get good communication? Are they going to call you every step of the way and let you know how things are going to go? If you have any questions, do you have a direct contact? Someone that you can call, you can text, you can email if a question pops up. Make sure they have legal counsel on staff. That's usually a really cool thing, because if they don't, and you come across a legal issue, as in maybe like a warranty deed or a ladybird deed that may need some, legal advice on, at least with an attorney right then and there, they can answer any of those questions for you. And then just make sure that they're available to close anywhere, anytime. That's our big thing. And that's what we stand by, is being able to close in any location at any time of the day, so that you're not missing work to close on your new home or missing work to sell your previous or your current home.
Yeah. So tell us what that means. Where's a place that you can close?
So our close anywhere, anytime means that we can close at your house, we can close at your place of business, we can close at the local coffee shop, any of our closing offices that we have, any of the realtors, any of the other title companies. We can close outside of Michigan. So if you're in California, in Kentucky, in Hawaii on vacation, we can close there. Or in any country, where we can do e-signs, which is a great thing also. So if you don't want to be in the same room as everybody else, or you're on vacation, or you're on a business trip, we're able to close you in any place. I've had one in Germany, I've had one in Israel, and I always say as long as the lender approves it, we're able to do that for you. So it keeps it very easy, convenient, and smooth for you throughout the process while you're not trying to fiddle around and try to get things all situated.
Awesome. Well, that's a huge advantage just to know that closing anywhere is big, right? I mean, as loan officers, our biggest thing is we just got to make the closing work. We got to make sure it's a good, clean process. So knowing you guys have that is an awesome tool. Vince, did you have anything else for Krystal before we kind of wrap this up? Let her get out of here.
Well, so we have your contact information on the screen. So what's the best way someone can reach you? Email, phone? What's the best way to reach out?
So the best way I would say is through phone. You can give me a call. My phone number's on there, but it's 586-713-1103. So if you need to call, text, email, do any of the following, reach out with any questions that you have. Any situations that you're in that you're like, hey, I may be selling, I may be buying. This is kind of what I'm looking at. I can answer any of those questions for you. Or if you need to just email me and say, hey, here's a list of things, or what can you do for me in this current situation? Just let me know. We're very open and we're here to help. We're here to make the closing process smooth on buying your new home or selling your current home. And that's just what we're here for.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it. And obviously, thanks for coming on. Like I said, I've worked with Krystal numerous times and cannot speak highly enough about her and Vanguard. So if you are a buyer or you are a seller or you're doing a for sale by owner, even if you want a quick claim deed, give her a shot. She will take care of you. I promise it'll be a smooth, simple process, and their prices and the rates are extremely competitive. That's why I use them. So it's speed, service, all that. So as always, guys, thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions on the mortgage side, feel free to give us a call at 586-371-6104, or you can catch us online at sockmortgage.com.
Yeah, make sure to check us out on the next Homeownership Hub, where we're going to spotlight another